Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I want to share some of the deals and the scores that I found at a recent train show. I live in Arizona and just outside of Phoenix, and one of the train shows I was able to attend this past weekend had amazing deals. And I love going to these things because you can just find rock bottom prices on items. And I'm going to share those with you and just kind of show you some of the things that I got and where my mind's at and how they will apply to my railroad. So let's just kind of go through each of these items, and maybe I'll have a tally of how much the retail pricing is of these items, just to kind of show you the savings that you can get at one of these shows. Some of these are going to be, I don't know, they're interesting to me. It's very difficult to probably see and understand what this is, but it's a flag pole. It has 3 poles and a base to put a flag. I have a engine facility, and near it I'm going to actually have a flag pole. Of course, at a train show or a swap meet, you buy this for like $1. So not a huge item, but you know, $1. One of the things I was able to also get is this base powder. This one comes in mauve color, and this base powder is a light gray. These are made by Arizona Rock and Mineral Company, and they're nice because they're typically $6 to $8 a package when you buy them in the store. And at the swap area, I was able to get them. He marked $2.65 for each of these, and ended up giving me each of them for $1. And I'll use these to and spread out in different areas of my layout, and I want to try them out. Kind of in the same line as those last powders is this. It kind of looks like a black coal of some sort, but it feels like maybe a scenery supply mix. But anyway, while he marks $2, would you take one? That's typically my question, and most of the time they do. So I usually don't like to wheel and deal and all that kind of stuff, but the prices are just so low, and they're willing to negotiate, and why not? This next one is a micro seal. Micro scale decals. These are the safety stripings that you put on the side of modern day cars, and I've been interested in something like this, and again, I was able to get it for $1. Comes in HO scale. Wanted to try it out, so this is a good way for me to experiment and see if I like it or not. One of the things I'm working on when I lay my track is I'm going to need some track bumpers. And this is an old packaging from Walthers, but the track bumpers, they come in a 12 set, and the price that the retailer was asking for was $8. I was able to bundle it. And some other products, and so let me see what those other products are, and I'll kind of tally up the total. But even his asking price of $8 compared to what the retail price is, it's already a really good deal. And of course, they're yellow. I'm not going to keep them yellow. I'm going to spray them, paint them, make them look like proper end bumpers, and Walthers track bumpers. You get 12 of these in a set. That same person was selling also these micro engineering railroad scale HO scale ties. This pack comes with 1,000. This set is weathered, and I've always wanted to perhaps one day lay my own track, and these ties give me a perfect opportunity to do that. And he was asking $8 for that, and these ties are made by Micro Engineering. I love their flex track and their switches, and I have all Micro Engineering track right now, and so wanted to buy some of the scale ties. I can use these for just scenery parts around the layout, and also potentially hand lay some future track that I at least want to try. So good, inexpensive way of getting a bunch of ties. This is kind of an older product, but he was asking $5 for it, and you can see 3 large tanks. Why I needed this is because in my layout I'm going to be making a copper mine, and part of the copper mine is a sulfuric acid station. And so I'm going to need tanks to represent a sulfuric acid area. I like a lot of the piping, the styrene details and things like that. And so I was excited to see something like this. And I kind of took, this, some of these other things, lumped them all together, and then asked for a lower price. So I probably picked up 5 or 6 things from this guy and still got them even lower than what they were asking for. But lots of parts. Some of the details of this, like this walkway here, and some of these pipings down here. I can use this for other areas. I mean, I'm not going to exactly set it up like this. It gives me a chance to scratch build something that I know I'm going to use in my closet for my sulfuric acid station. In the same line of my sulfuric acid station is a Walther's oil piping, they call it, or a piping kit. And in this, you can find lots of different let's see if I can show you this picture here. A lot of different piping things, and I have these set up, and Walther's advertises it for oil, but I'm changing it to sulfuric acid. It looks very similar, and I don't want to completely hand scratch that, so I already have these built, and then I'm going to use a lot of the details like this going to my storage tanks, and I just need a bunch of these. I was able to get this for $2, and it's an older Walther's packaging, but the kit's the same and the part number's the same today. And I'll show you the actual price on the screen. You'll see how much of a savings that I actually get by going to a train show like this and finding something that I wasn't expecting. So you've probably kind of seen a theme. I'm buying lots of structure things, and this one has rails, has stairs, little handrails on both sides, more stairs, and I got 3 of them, and I think all of these together were $1. And I have so many needs for staircases, for safety rails, for things going around my different mine buildings. So this is a great bargain of just cheap styrene that I can use for scratch building. Okay, so Woodland Scenics. Let's see, this is a windmill, and it's made out of that white metal casting. I haven't honestly used this kind of product before, but I figured in the desert I've actually seen these. They used to have a lot of ranchers and cattle, and so they had water stations out in the desert, and there was oftentimes next to these water stations a windmill. And the windmill would turn, it would pump up the water, and so I can kind of potentially use this to create a scene out in my desert. They were asking $5. He ended up giving it to me for $3. So really nice guy too. Got to talk to someone about his model railroading back down in Tucson, and it's just fun meeting new people too that way. One of the things we're really excited about getting was this overpass. It's a 150-foot overpass made by Rick's Products, and this overpass, I've always wanted to have one. I have only a 15-inch depth on my layout, but I can take one of these and run it across my whole layout, showing a nearby road, and just have the trains run underneath it. So I can just cut it off where it's too long. I think 150-foot highway overpass turned out to be about 20 inches. I think that's how it worked out. And they're asking, or the asking price at the show was $15. Well, in addition to this, he also had another extension, another thing, and he was asking $5 for this one too. Put them both together, he was asking $20. Ended up giving it to me for about $18. So I'm gonna obviously in the future have a little overpass going over my switching layout, and show kind of like where my city road is leading through my scene. So excited to add this to my collection. And as you can see, the retail price versus what I got it out of the swap, you can't even compare it. It's too good to not get. As you can tell, a lot of the items that I got are structure oriented. I think that's where my mind's at right now. And to add back to that sulfuric acid station, I looked at these silos here. some of the detailing up here. This is the Walthers plastic pallet transfer. They advertise it to put dry pellets in hopper cars and shoot it up, but you know, you look at some of the mining railroad things that I'm doing, and they have storage tanks that look like oil. Sometimes they have storage tanks that look like this, and so I'm gonna kind of kit bash a little something showing these being storage tanks next to my acid and see how it looks. But anyway, this kit, the person was asking only $10 for it, and brand new kit, hasn't even been opened. And so I ended up giving them $9 for it, and they were happy to take that, so why not? So with all these structures, I'm gonna need some tools and some information, and one of those, I found a DVD by Green Frog. It is Scratch Built Structures. I thought that was fitting, and they only sold it to me for $1. So it's an hour-long DVD, shows you how to build a few different buildings. I know that YouTube has a ton of resources and such, so but for $1, I don't mind grabbing a DVD and just adding it to the collection, see if there's any little tips and stuff that I can learn. I'm a new modeler, so I need as much information as I get, and I think a $1 DVD showing me how to do some scratch building is going to be perfect. And in line of educating myself, I also grabbed a book. This one's about painting and weathering model railroads. I'm excited to do this to some of my all of my cars and stuff, and they only wanted $2 for it. They ended up taking $1. I think anytime anybody lists the price, they always overprice it, and without me asking for a discount, how much do you want for this is the first question. Even though I see the price, I'll take $1 is usually the response. People are they got so much stuff, they're just trying to get rid of it, and instead of just throwing it away, they go to a swap meet and they move it on to the next modeler. So these items aren't great, but I needed some trucks, and I got these for like, I don't know, $1 for 3 of them, and I wanted some pickup trucks to be able to practice painting and modeling. I kind of want some high railers, and these are obviously just little toy ones, but they're at least give me something to practice with. So while there, I had a chance to talk to the president of the NMRA club here in Arizona, and I honestly don't know much about this organization. I mean, I've always seen the flyers for them, and I've always seen that they have different seminars and clinics and annual, I don't know, getaways or whatever. So I'm curious about this and wondering, you know, the advantages of someone that's kind of new, trying to learn. And Richard, the gentleman I was talking to, said, yeah, come on down to our club in Scottsdale, and you can talk to any one of our NMRA guys, and they'll give you tips and help you with whatever you're working on. And I think that's, as a newbie, that's something I need. So I'm curious about this organization. I liked the magazine. This is an older magazine, but still there was tons of information in it. And I'm curious about this. And so do you belong to this organization? Do you like it? Would you recommend it for someone new? You know, post your ideas in the comments for me. Give me some advice of what I would do. I mean, what I'm trying to gather is I'm trying to get information, how to do certain things. And I also want to ask questions and get answers about how to specifically lay a track, or how to specifically fix a problem I'm having. And I think an organization or a resource like this might be good for me. Okay, so there you have it. That was my swap meet haul. It probably wasn't the most exciting, but it applied to what I'm currently doing. And I think that's the key, is focusing on buying things that you're actually going to use. I didn't buy any trains, I didn't buy any cars, I didn't need any of that. At least right now, I'm kind of focusing on structure and some of those types of things. So instead of getting distracted and building up a collection of things that I'm not going to use, I was trying to focus on things that I'm currently needing. And I was able to find many, many items for a lot less there. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next video.